Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to all. I am Pallavi Nanda, your host for this pronounced session. I'm extremely privileged and excited to have been given this opportunity to be a part of our very own sapient Chances BeConnected Virtual Conference 2023. We have participants joining today from locations all over the world. And before we get started, I would like to take a moment to share our appreciation for everyone lining up their schedules across the time zones in this fashion. With great honor, I would like to introduce Mr. Ratnavopala as our guest speaker for today's insightful session. With a wealth of experience of 23 years in the IT industry, his efforts contribute to achieving mission-critical objectives for a $2 billion global manufacturing company. He will be sharing his valuable insights on streamlining customer data management and how overhead door enhances efficiency with dataZen to streamline the customer data management, resulting in increased efficiency and better customer experiences. We will be also conducting a short Q&A at the end of the session. You may send in your questions at any time during the presentation in the Q&A window, and we'll collect these and address them at the end of the presentation. Another quick note to all of you out there. Someone from the virtual audience here today will be the lucky owner of a second generation wireless Apple AirPods, and we'll find out who after this presentation. Also, if you experience any technical issues during the session, please return to the virtual lobby where we have our tech assistants from the conference hosting platform to help you out. Now, without any further ado, let us commence today's session and take advantage of this opportunity to learn and grow together. Over to you, Ratna.
All right. Thanks, Pallavi. Are you able to hear me well?
Yes.
Great, good. Hey, thanks for the kind words, kind introduction. It's been a great day. I've been going through some of these virtual sessions myself and a lot of nuggets. And thanks, Chances, for connecting everybody. Learning a lot. Hope everybody's taking advantage of these sessions and taking the nuggets away, right? With that, again, there was a great session by Jay Balan just before this, and how manufacturing world evolved with the new Chances platform. That's a great session. If you missed, please go and watch it again. With this, again, I'm just getting into my session. I'm Ratnavopala. As Pallavi said, I'm heading the MDM and data governance at Overhead Door. I've been in the IT industry for past 23 years. Responsible for data domain strategy, data governance, solution architecture, and also digital transformation programs at Overhead Door. I'm going to give a quick introduction. What is the Overhead Door and who we are? That way, anyway, we can get into the context. Okay, Overhead Door, it's a 100-year-old company. We just celebrated our 100-year-old anniversary a couple of years ago. We are a group of brands that probably you may be seeing somewhere at your place or outside. So our brands are Overhead Door ribbon, the red ribbon that you see, and then a Wayne Dalton, Genie, Harden, Tardco, Creative Door, and NationCell. We are a safe passway manufacturing company. You see all the red dots across the US. So we do have various manufacturing plants across the US and dealers and distribution distribution centers as well. So we are one of the oldest and the competitor for the garage door industry. And we have a lot of patents because since we are in this world, in this business for 100 years, right? And some of the products that we manufacture, just to give an idea, right? You see those beautiful doors in your residence garages, or you may be seeing the glass doors, revolving doors in a big malls or And if you are in a DFW area, the DFW airport has all the moving glasses and then the train. Those all are manufactured by our company. And then if you're in a commercial world, you see the huge warehouses. Probably they may be using our rolling steel doors as well. And then we also have a truck doors, like any trucks like Amazon or in transportation trucks that has the garage doors back up and down. So that's our doors again. And then you see the opener when you go into your residential garages. You may be seeing something on in the garage, on the center of the garage, which is like an opener that pulls up and down the actual garage itself, right? So just to give you a context on who we are. So these are the some of the doors that we have. Also high-speed doors, restaurant doors, and then we also have a huge football park and convenience garage doors. So we are specialized in various types of doors. So with that, I want to get into the actual topic today. Hope you got some context about our door. In order for us to run the business, you're going back to, across the country, and then we are 90% B2B market. So we work with other businesses, distributors and dealers. And then we also have, the retail side, like a Home Depot or Lowe's. If you go, you can buy our doors from there, but we treat that again through EDA and then B2B. So most of our customer database that we manage internally to run our business is B2B type of customers. So what is just leveling down a little bit to going back to basic. I want to just keep this slide to make sure that this is a common for any company, right? Whether it's a manufacturing, healthcare, financial, it doesn't matter. If you have a business, you're running a business, your key data is your customers, right? So what is the customer data management in any given company, right? Just sitting the level here, yeah. So basically all the process of collecting this data from the customer, right? Going through all the hoops, and then curating the data and then storing in internal systems, right? In the right format, right? Timely, right? Usable data, right? And then organizing it properly so that internal stakeholders or downstream applications can consume this data, right? And then protecting the customer information. And then we can talk about hours and hours on the protecting the customer data, right? With all the GDPR and the CCPA and all these laws coming in, regulations coming in at any point of time, you should be able to secure the customer information, and at the same time, you should be able to withdraw information as well with the consumer rights. So this overall customer life cycle of collection to organize to store and then archive or delete is how do we manage this end-to-end process, right? So that's our customer data. And why we really need to worry about our customer data management process, right? So what is the critical role of customer data management is basically, if you want to be in a data-driven world and then how the world is changing, you must have effective customer data management. And it's very crucial for any growth companies, right? If you want to provide a personalized services, or you want to provide, or you internally, if you want to have, growth as your one of the goal, right? You want to drive the growth, or you want to improve the customer satisfaction. All these requires effective customer data management, right? So this is very, very important for any business growth. So if you get into the little bit of success criteria, so like if you really want to have this customer data management, right, it's very key for customer satisfaction as well. You don't have a right data. You keep asking the right, you keep asking the customers the data, or you're not able to properly create a proper customer relationships, right? And then that may lead to encourage it's a customer satisfaction issue, right? So, and also if you have addresses wrong, you're not able to ship this products to the customers. So it all leads to customer satisfaction, right? Or customer experience. So if you wanna have that increase the customer satisfaction, improve the business growth, it's very critical to have effective customer data management, right? So, and also if you have effective customer data, it also helps, embracing your data-driven paradigm in this modern business world. So that gives you a strength and a backbone. And then I've seen in previous sessions, they were talking about AI and whatnot, and then they also mentioned all these can work if you have a good data. If you don't have good data, and if you don't manage it well, none of your AI or all these new toys or shiny toys will not work, right? So they're repeatedly cautioning that to have a quality data, right? And also having that effective customer data management process, it increases the efficiency, right? It's result in the increased operational efficiency for any organization. You speed up yours to serve the customers, right? And then the more you have this efficiency internally, it'll be better customer interaction and customer relationships, right? So that it directly improves the customer experience. So just basically, all these are critical in order to have a better business growth. So with this as a context, I would like to go to the next one, how overhead or kind of having all these challenges, because you saw this is a 100-year-old company and having multiple systems and whatnot. So how we embrace this change, right? And then we want to be a leader in the garage door industry, right? And then what are the steps we have taken to get there, and how we embraced with the power of dataZen. Let's get into the next slide. All right, so just like any company, right? So we talked about collecting the data, curating, and then managing it well. So we do also have the process mechanism that's been there in the company for ages, right? How do we collect the customer information, right? So a couple of challenges that we currently had was customer service staff just collect the information, and then that takes for an extended period of time. It's not a quick a web or a digital form. It's a PDF, it's an Excel sheet. Normally we intake those forms informally, and then we basically send it to a mailbox, right? So, and then from there, it's all manual approvals and process, right? So somebody in the customer management team, data stewards, kind of looking into that, working back and forth, because sometimes there will be paper written, pen written, or they just take a photo of a paper and send it. So various ways that customer intake form comes in, and then sometimes it's also a duplicate, and we have a various business divisions, as I showed in the first slide, and the customer might be already there, but they're requesting again, and then it's a confirmation going back and forth, like, do you mean you want to have this customer, or you want to have create? Is the same Bob? Is the same guy you're talking about? So it's a back and forth in the emails, discussions, phone calls, right? Sometimes team is busy, not looking into all these things, and then the process of collection itself is, extended for a period of time. And then also the manual approvals and reviews, as like, let's assume that everything is in good order, but we have to get the approvals, right? So we send again an email to the managers, DSMs, RMs, and regional managers and the sales managers to get approvals, and then making sure that they have a proper credit limits and other than like CFS, right? So all these are manual, and then who is making sure that the customer has been validated, and making sure that we have approvals in place, reviewers in place for auditing purposes, right? So these all are manual, and that how it'll decrease the operational efficiency. And then this basically sometimes may take even 2 to 3 weeks, because it goes in the queue, goes back and forth, approval. So it's extending the onboarding time, and we're not able to improve the operational efficiency. And also we have different brands. That means we also have a different requirements, how we collect and where it should go. So we have a different forms we created based on the divisional requirements. So sometimes it all goes to the central customer intaker. So it's getting confused. There's no standardization, right? Now why we are doing this way versus this way, and then why this business unit is different from that, and then what is the real requirement, and then basically it kind of degrading the the speed and then the efficiency. It's complicating the overall process. Also, when we have all these multiple ways of getting this data, and then we don't have any consistent way to search and making sure that we have the customer data, what we have in the data model is correct, right? So there is no consistent method because we're getting from different businesses and different farms. We don't know, it's a duplicate request and whatnot. So there is an inconsistent way to search and link the customer records. So these all are challenges that we were facing. And we talked about duplicate customer entries because of this request, and there is no way to manage and avoid those duplicates ahead of the time. So we end up creating it in some cases and then try to merge it later. So it's basically making patches, right? So it's more cost to fix the data after the fact than before, that everybody knows about it. 98% of the cost is fixing if it comes from the intaker, right? We also manage a lot of documents, like W-9s, credit applications, tax certifications, and whatnot. So all those documentation is currently living in some folders, right? So, and then these all are very protected information, and we don't have any proper document management. So if I want to go and pull the customer, sometimes it's a security issue. Sometimes it's not in one place to go for, based on the business divisions and whatnot, right? So all these challenges, I'm sure this is very common to many companies. It doesn't matter, it's a manufacturing, financial, or healthcare, or whatever, right? So if you are long enough in the business, you might be seeing all this. Or any startup companies, right? So nowadays the companies that grown so fast in less period of time, by the time they figure out this, they're already in the mess, right? So with all these challenges, we'll see how we tackle these and what's our strategy, right? So if you see the bottom of the screen, so phone calls, emails, chat messages, right? So various omni-channel communication, and then putting those together. We don't have any auditing, like, why we did versus what we did. And then there are a lot of cheat sheets for even intake codes to validate against, and then putting the stuff in the system, how to do, what to do, when do we populate on different fields. So there are a lot of manual process, and then this is a classic scenario where we could see the gaps, and we were in a mission to reduce the gaps and then improve the productivity of the business, and then also which would lead into customer satisfaction, both internal and external. So with that, let's see what we did on our strategy side, right? So in order to, we took every challenge and we started putting together, how do we tackle this, right? So our strategy was simple. We want to have a 360-degree of customer data in one place, so that all the stakeholders basically going to have access, irrespective of what which department or which business unit they belongs to. And we also have a security, so that way we are basically making sure that we're not exposing the unwanted information, right? So we want to have a single entry system. So instead of taking multiple forms, get rid of all the paperwork, get rid of all the PDFs, make it as a digital transformation project and digitized intake forms with all kind of validations so that business knows why they're doing what they're doing, and then reduce the complexity. And then having all kind of validations ahead of the time. Basically, we want to make sure that the quality data is coming into the data stewards queue, so they can spell check, they can do the tax ID, there is no missing information, there is no back and forth. We put all those validations in the entry system. That way, they fill in all the information that next person needed, right? So that's why we wanted to have a single view of self-service registration portal. So you log in as a requester, go in, make sure that we have all the data in, right? And then we have a data quality that also takes care of it. And then we want to get rid of all these manual workflows. So we said, okay, we need to have automated workflows, and based on the various levels, like for example, somebody wants $2 million credit limit, so who and all in the company have to approve it. Now we basically making sure that all these are written and also implemented, and everybody's following those approvals, and then we have audit for the same thing. And then we also want to have user friendly, right? Most of the time these projects fail because it's not user friendly. So we need to make sure that its usability is great. And we also have audited boards. We also have a dashboard that basically the leadership can see what's going on. Today, we don't have anything, everything in emails, inboxes, papers. So there's no way to even really see how many requests we got today, where are we, how backlog and whatnot. It's all like going by emails, right? And also, when we're talking about customer data, the customer data, even though it's master data, keeps changing. People move from A to B, and there are stuff that, monthly, when did we send the last statements? And there are information that on the customer data um, keep on updating. So we need to make sure that it's active and it's a timely. That means we need to have a capability to bulk upload stuff, update the things. So we said, okay, if we can get these solutions in place, and our strategy will work, and then that lead into better master data governance, and then that lead into, again, the cost satisfaction, right? So that's what our strategy. And then we went into market, like, what's the best tool we have to satisfy all this, right? So we did, and then we had a prior relationship with the Chances. We've been with Chances for almost 10 years now. All our data migrations, data, everything is taken care by Chances tools, dataZen, and we are tightly integrated with Oracle ERP. So they have out of the box templates. It's easy, plug and play, no coding. So we were very satisfied with the dataZen. At the same time, so we said, okay, again, we didn't take that into consideration when we choose the changes for this project. We went through a few other options, and then when we did all the ROI from usability, speed to market, speed to customers, speed to internal customers, users, and also the dollar value that brings in. With all that into consideration, we said, okay, let's go with the dataZen, right? It's all business decision. It's not IT decision. Business went through every single product, and then conclusion was made. And so said, okay, how dataZen is going to help? So we said streamlined entry. So master data requester, we created the requester pages, forms, and then we said potential. The moment requester puts in, it just pops up, hey, these are the possible matches. There's a 100% match. This is a 90% match. Is this the same guy you want to enter? So kind of reducing the time uh, significantly, right? And that also helped, a lot of focus of the data stewards on the quality checks. System has taken care already, so they're just making sure that everything is properly populated, and then just click the button to get in, right? So approvals. And we built in very good data approval workflows within the dataZen. The kind of helped um, organizationally, department wise and business unit wise. We have a lot of complicated complex matrix. I would say the approval matrix. If this business, this person, this. So gathering all that information and putting into a system, and then now that freed up everybody's mind and focus on actual value proposition, right? So all that came in to dataZen, and then everybody's properly approving it, and then we basically see all the audits of any customer created and approved. Everything moved to Golden Hub. All this is happening in the dataZen. Now we have a new tool, right? And then this data is going into Oracle, because Oracle Customer Hub is our data hub that talks to different downstream as well. So seamlessly that data goes to Oracle now, and then from Oracle we already have legacy integrations, downstream applications, and then that was an existing piece we didn't touch. So end to end, without disrupting what business is doing today, we just added a new platform before, kind of a left shift the data entry process and taking that seamlessly to Oracle, and then anything after Oracle is untouched. That kind of helped business to see the value that's adding, and then I'm going to show how we did in detail as well. So this is how we have implemented dataZen, and which anyone else can take advantage of. So how did it help us doing this exercise, and how it met with our data strategy, governance model, and helped out managing the effective customer data, right? So because of this implementation, we streamlined the whole data entry, right? Unified customer onboarding. Doesn't matter. It's easy to train. It's easy to, if any new hire comes in, there is already everything is in place. It's a self-service model. It reduces the time and effort that required to input the data. So everybody is happy. So we have a streamlined data entry. Now leadership has more confidence on the overall process because they can see this, right? Enhanced data accuracy, obviously, because we added a lot of business rules. We started with the probably 10 or 15 data business rules and ended up with 200 business rules. You can't believe that. We never thought that so much of that validation is happening in people's head, and a lot of cheat sheets on their desks. All bringing in all those business rules into the rule engine, and then making sure that this is extendable. So tomorrow some rules change, and tomorrow we have new rules to add. We don't want to have it as a project. So we implemented a system such a way that it's all manageable and just the setups, and then it's immediate effect, and it's a cloud-based SaaS application. So no bouncing, no code changes. Don't wait for the next release. So it's great. So this is easy maintenance. And this helped us having a quality data in our system, dataZen, as well as downstream and the Oracle ERP, and obviously it leads to reliable transactions and reporting, right? How it is improved operational efficiency, because everybody is getting timely notification. Now they're not going through the group box, like who's working on what, or who's taking this task. Now everything is assigned in the portal. So that kind of helped a lot of, going through the boxes and emails. It led to quicker decision making as well. So they know why they're approving, because they have all the data, they have document, everything in one single piece of pane of glass, right? So it reduced the delays of approvals and reviews. Then it basically became a friendly tool, so that empowered the user to more and more use this request workbench than calling people, sending emails, because they're getting a quicker response and they have everything what they need in a single system. So it's basically empowered the users to track their requests. Where are they? Why they're waiting? Why they're not approving it? Or requesters they don't have to keep calling the intaker, right? Then basically, since we put everything in the system, it already obviously it reduces the manual errors, right? There's no typos. We have implemented the address checks, right? The moment user puts in the my partial address, it just pops up, gives the suggested address, standardized address. So there's no manual error, and also it's consistent. Whether it's a cap small, the standardization, and then the valid geocodes, right? It's consistent and accurate. So with all these things, we have transparent accountability, faster decisions, and increased productivity. So this is all our goal. That was our strategy. And when we implemented this overall dataZen platform, that's what we got, right? So I just want to quickly show one dashboard, which we didn't have before, right? A period. There's no Excel sheet as well to see how many, what is our backlog, where are we on this, and for the execution, whatever intakers give a report, that's all I'm going to believe in. Like if they say, hey, I'm behind 5 days, okay, it's 5 days. If I'm behind 30 emails, it's 30 emails. But what does that mean reality wise? We don't have it. Sometimes you get 10 emails for one request, right? So we don't know what it is. So this basically kind of proves that we can see now executive committee can see how many requests we got. So we just went live a couple of months ago, like end of Q3. We can clearly see how many requests we got. You see the completed requests, right? So 90% of this dashboard is out of the box and we fine-tuned a little bit, but you see the data right in front of you and it's refreshed. There is no data warehouse. It's like it's immediate, right? We can see now between like in a 1.5 month, we can see that there are 700 requests. There are only 2 requests in progress. Now I see the visibility. Now if I have 5 people working on data intakers, now I see there are only 2 requests in queue. That means you see the efficiency improvement. That means I can make them focus on value-added work, not just babysitting the group inbox, right? And then I can see like last 7 days, what was my incoming? You see 15, but today we got 56. It doesn't make sense. So as a manager, I see that, okay, how come you can have 15 in the last 7 days and today you have 60? What's going on? So now I have a story to tell people that, okay, because it's 15, because we were not taking a request because of month-end closing, right? Last 7 days was a month-end. Everybody, CFO's team, everybody's busy with closing the last month books and then taking and then requesters are requesting in the new requests, right? So now we have a visibility why this is up and down, why we're not getting, and then I could better organize my team structure based on our incoming requests and which days and what days, when is the down days and then up days. So it kind of helped even data governance council to see that flow and then making decisions and having a team organized and basically help them even having a better productivity. So, and then we also have a by division. We can see inflow. Okay, hey, the Genie team is only giving 4% customers. Is this right? So ASD is 40. That's our biggest pie in the customer request. So that means we can see where our growth is from the customer data as well. And then it also tells us how much either it's brand new customers or modified customers and how much data we are updating it. So that's basically gives us a proof that we are basically leveraging the tool. Is basically everybody's in the system, and and this is what we're really looking for, to have a better management of customer data and effective data management, right? So that's our testimony, I would say. So then we thought, okay, any project, we can't take it everything in one go, right? So we said, okay, when we vetted out different systems, we also looked into not just what's my current need, but what's beyond what current problem, because we have a lot of problems, right, on the customer data. How I can leverage this platform for other areas like supplier 360 or product 360, right? So today, we do the same intake forms for the suppliers. So can we extend this platform for the suppliers, right? So that's our next goal. So when we vetted out different platforms, how much I can reuse this, what we are establishing as a standard processes for, and leverage those steps and then make others products and services and suppliers and extend it. So scaling it to the next level, right? Having all these data controls, having all these effective workflows. It's the same story. It doesn't matter whether it's a customer, supplier, product. This is the same challenges. So how do we leverage the investments that we made and then extend it to other master data elements? So that's a scale. So when you choose a platform, make sure that, is it scalable? Is it extendable? Is it, it's a SaaS model? Perfect. So every day, every time they have quarterly releases and new features, we have everything, and we don't have to manage anything internally. Our IT support has gone down so much with this, right? And also it improved user efficiency as well. So make sure that having all these checkpoints, it kind of helped everybody. Okay. All right. So the key takeaways on this overall journey for the dataZen implementation is achieving the operational excellency, right? Now, basically, we didn't have a visibility of how many requests and how much time people are spending. Now I have SLAs. I can even see what is the average approval time. Who is the bottleneck in the overall process? So now I have a better inputs or insights for our process, right? And then we also have reducing onboard time, obviously, because now we have a system in place. So kind of helps. Also, automated the integrations with Oracle. So we're not doing swivel chair. We just automate everything and into integrations with Oracle and then back and forth, right? So there's a lot of information, a lot of data movement. We also have a detailed workflow tracking. That means as I said, I know when the notification or a request came to this queue, how much time it took, and when is approval, and what are the approval comments, what's the rejection comments. So I have all 9 hours of the workflow tracking, how people are working, and then when we go for the audits, right? It's a robust error handling mechanism for the users. Again, we talked about the business validations. It's a real time. You don't wait for people. You send intake forms to intake or data steward. They'll see in the next day. They come back with the questions, and then you take another. So we get reducing all this back and forth, and then we're having a real-time business validations. Then, oh, I understand why I'm selecting the open terms when I'm switching from open term to COD to open, and then and I need to put different attachments, and then I have to have a validation. So taking all that into consideration with the change events basically help the speed up the process. And also now I have a one single picture of how my requests coming in, how my master data, how these all are related, right? Because we have good screens. Previously, even in the system, as I have to go to like 10 different places to manage it. Now I have a single place where I can manage, review, approve it. So it's less clicks. So we have a comprehensive customer relationship view where we could see everything, right? And then basically in the end result is we have sustainable data governance, right? Now we can scale it up. We can have the active customer data, which is clean, which is trusted by business, which is trusted by the stakeholders downstream, right? Because we have a structured governance process, we have a data accuracy and reliability, right? So with all these things, we are in the path of sustainable data governance. Okay, so these all are the key takeaways in the overall project. With that, what I want to leave today is you don't have to see I like this code very much because this is what motivates you to take the risks and reap the rewards, right? So you don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step. So this is a way to the next level. And then I would see everybody's taking, and I know these kind of projects takes a lot of buy-in from the executive. But you just have to start with some small use case, show those business value, reap the benefits, and then go to the next level. So you don't have to boil the ocean. That's what I say. So take a small steps, baby steps, and then you'll reach your goal. So that's all I have for today. I think it's time for the Q&A now.
Wow, that was such an informative and engrossing session. Thank you, Ratna. I'm sure our audiences learned a lot from you. Heading towards the Q&A session, please keep your questions coming in the Q&A window. I have some questions for you from our captivated audience. And the first one coming right up is from Kesavan, right? So could you please elaborate on how safely Changes is handling the sensitive customer databases and how safely you feel yourself?
Great. So that's a good question. So as I said, like safety, security of the customer data is very, very important to any organization, right? You don't want to get into fine. You don't want to make sure that anybody steal the data. At the same time, how do you safe and secure this data internally and externally? So in Overhead Door, we have a very vetted, thorough process whenever we onboard any application, right? It doesn't matter changes or any vendor application. So we have 360-degree view of the vendor capabilities. So we went through the whole SOC 1, SOC 2 kind of compliance check. We have a whole cybersecurity team that kind of goes through all 9 yards of the security of the platform itself, and then changes has data to provide all the certifications. And then when we also have validated the security, we also validated the platform, and we also masked the customer intake data as well. So I kind of helped everybody, all the checkpoints, making sure that it's a safe and secure. And then data masking is very good in the Chances tool that kind of helped us securing the data. And then the roles and responsibilities that we created within the dataZen, kind of hiding unwanted information to internal and external stakeholders. So definitely, that's how we have implemented, and we feel safe.
Wow, that's great. A real great insight, Ratna. Thank you. Another one coming up is, what specific improvements have been observed in terms of efficiency and customer experiences at Overhead Doors?
Okay, great. So I think I briefly touched upon some of the efficiencies and that we observed. Obviously, our turnaround time is now less than the SLA, which is basically we have 24 hours, right? And then now we're finishing each request in a couple of hours, as long as everything is in good and all the data is inputted, right? And it improved our operational efficiency. And obviously, now our requesters have a better visibility of their request where it is. So that again improved the customer experience, internal customer experience, right, across the businesses, because we have a corporate data governance team, and then we have all the business across the US and Canada and Mexico that we would serve. So basically, this whole process experience well, and having that visibility of how many volume and whatnot, it helped even in the better management of people and their time, and then the value to the business. So with all these improvements, and definitely we achieved our goals. Yeah. I think you're on mute, Pallavi.
The second one coming up is, can you share specific strategies and technologies that Overhead Door implemented to streamline their customer data management processes?
Sure. First of all, as I showed my strategy slide, we wanted to implement a single 360-degree view of customer data, right? So in order to do that, we have a dataZen, which basically takes all the intake of customer data. And then we also have integrations going through to Oracle ERP, again, dataZap, which is a changes. So that took care of end-to-end dataZen and dataZap platform. And then from Oracle ERP, we also have email integrations that went from dataZen because you need to have email integrations. So we were sending in all the email notifications to everybody. So dataZen, we have SOA, we have Oracle integrations, email integrations, and then we also have address validations with the Locate. So we want to make sure that this is a reachable address. We have a Vortex integration. So we also implemented that Vortex integration, email integration, and address integration with Locate. And then we also used Google Maps so that we can have a standardized process and quickly help business, not typing the whole address, just because it gives you suggested addresses and then you just pick, and then it's all standard. So all these tools are built into dataZen and dataZap and Changes platform. And that's how, those are the technologies that we have implemented to streamline our customer data.
I guess the last one coming up is, what was the duration of this implementation?
All right. So one thing before I say what's the actual answer. So whenever we're picking any vendor, right? So I would suggest I want them to be a partner in this solution and in the strategy than a vendor or a consulting, right? So we have, as I said, we wanted with a one business unit with 3 months. And then we ended up, once we started showing and talking to people, and then everybody want to jump on for the intake. So the project was extended to another 4 months, right? However, our chances being a partner, they understood the value add, they understood why there was a project duration change, but it's still within our budget. They helped, they accommodate all the changes that we requested. That's why I said, like, we want a partner in the solution, not a consulting or a vendor who are really looking for a short term. And they accommodate all our changes. They accommodate all the user requirements. They extended their team to help us working with all the business units because now our scope has been increased. And then they helped us in the custom design. So with all this, it depends on, again, each organization, the duration could be varied. However, we completed in 9 months, and glad to have changed this part of it.
I guess that's really a nice reply to all the questions really wanting you to answer. So this great audiences would let you know that this was our contributions for this session.